96.5. Alice. The Love Court is in session.
Here she is, the one, the only, Jessica Anderson from Anderson Kusher with another fine edition of the Love Court.
Yes.
In session.
I lost the location of my gavel.
Nobody's touched that gavel since you've been in here last.
It's been so long.
Damn Omicron.
I know.
Back at it today. So we started getting into this last week, but we had some phone difficulties, so we thought we would bring this back into the Love Court to discuss it more. Here we go.
Right. So, dear Jessica, if my ex-husband got our child a COVID shot without my knowledge, and I find out later that he got the shot, does that mean I can take him back to court? Because in our court order, it states that we do have to discuss all health care decisions since we have joint custody. Also, if my child misses a lot of school this week, can that be looked at by the judge? Can I bring that to her attention? I want what's best for my child, and seeing all these things happen while he's there is just a lot of things that I'm worried about. What can I do? So, the COVID shot. I mean, technically, yes, he has to have her permission before he gets the COVID shot. If she says no, you're supposed to go to the judge and have the judge decide who's going to, whether the COVID shot's going to happen.
Right.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, the judge is going to say, what does the pediatrician say? And I'm telling you right now, the pediatrician is probably going to say, get the COVID shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's already happened. So taking him to court over this is when you're going to lose anyway is probably not a good idea.
How does the doctor situation work? Is that like a third-party doctor?
That's
a third-party doctor, or is it the family doctor that gets to, what does the pediatrician say? Is that whose doctor is that?
It's the pediatrician is the child's doctor most kids have a pediatrician.
Right.
But I think where Chris is going at with this, is it a pediatrician that's selected by mom or dad?
Well, so that's a whole different
issue.
issue. That's a different issue. Your child doesn't have two different pediatricians.
Okay.
Depending on who they go to. No, that's not how it works. Most of the time, people.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I'm not going to say it never happens, but it's very rare.
That's not the ideal situation.
Yeah, you have one pediatrician. Okay. You agree. Usually, it's the pediatrician that's been the kid's pediatrician since birth. That doesn't change just because you get divorced. So usually it's the same pediatrician, but the pediatrician is going to recommend it. And it's just, you guys know me. I don't recommend going to court over things that, it's life.
Yeah, you should be able to settle outside of court. Yeah.
Well, this is just not an issue. I think that
some parents just don't communicate. I mean, it's like, there's nothing that frustrates me more. And we've talked about this so many times with Love Court over the years, where it's like, if you have a child together, mom and dad need to communicate, and they need to be on the same page.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing right here. This is a hot-button issue that I think that a lot of people aren't on the same page, so this is definitely where a divorced parent, parents together already have this problem. When you're divorced, it's like, take the gloves off.
Kids in the middle doesn't know, do I say, do I not?
I mean, I cannot even count how many calls and consultations I've had about the COVID shot.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Right. It's crazy. And my advice is always the same. I mean, you have a right to decide whether or not your child gets the vaccine. So does dad, right? So your right doesn't trump his. And so then, when you go to a judge, the judge is going to rely on the healthcare provider.
But before the COVID vaccine, a big question that would pop up in the Love Court is when a kid would have attention deficit disorder and the medications.
Oh, yeah.
And, and it kind of goes on the same lines where it's like, you know what? There needs to be a united front of what's best for the child.
Right. In an ideal world, there would be. Unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. Parents fight about that kind of stuff all the time. And again, same thing with ADD. If, one parent is adamantly against medication, the other parent thinks it's a good idea, you take it to the judge is going to rely on what the doctor says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's when you get doctor shopping happening.
Yeah,
because the pediatrician sometimes recommends a different professional to make that call, because not all pediatricians are, up to date on all the latest ADD and ADHD stuff. And so there's, a psychologist or something like that sometimes comes in, and then that's where you have parents that are fighting over, well, I like this doctor because they're pro-medication and this one's against it. So,
and you bring it back to the COVID shot, I mean, and the vaccinations. I mean, it's like there's so much information out there right now. It's like,
where do you go?
Yeah,
right.
and then now we're going to be fighting about the booster, right?
Mm-hmm. And there's a pill, right? That's coming too. You guys seen that?
The answer is I don't know.
Yeah. I like that. Jessica, if people ever have questions for the Love Court, we have a great portal set up on our website at alice965.com. You answer every single question you receive.
I do. We go back and forth sometimes, and then if they need more information, they can always call and schedule a consultation, 775-823-0049.